Welcome back to the Pirate. My name's Timmy, and as you know, I'm having a go at getting this ship up and running again, the Oceanpirate Brook. What are we on today? Well, last time we was in the engine bay, we're still going to be in the engine bay, but we've got to think about the service ways to the port side and starboard side, which is sort of like ground level, and ground level means these vents. Now we've got some vents. Plus we're going to take off these ones here. Going to give them a good wash down and remove them, these chrome vents or stainless steel vents. This is probably one of the biggest projects I've ever taken off, and there is some progress. These are the vents for engine cooling, getting air into the boat, and this one will specifically be used for the battery bay, and they are identical to these vents here, which I've got. I have all the vents, but we still need to get on the outside and clean this up. Right, let's go inside. The ones on the port side aren't used at all. That was originally for gas bottles. We're not having gas in that cabin. I don't like gas in the boat. We had gas, it'd be in the storage area at the back. So we look round to the starboard side, the same thing. 4 vents, got to go in, even if they're temporarily put in. We need to get all that foam and rubbish out from behind there so we can get into that section. And these vents here, these 3, they're also coming off. These are the only ones where we will have a stainless steel vent, a circular one, because I have to keep the option of that staying at the battery bay. So we need air, so that's good. As for these 4, either side, we will fit them, but we need to make them so they're possibly removable. We're not going to screw them all in. We'll temporarily fix them into place so we can get to the inside, and we'll block them off with some perspex, which we can remove at a later time, just to stop the wind chill coming through. As for filling the holes, we'll do that when it's warmer. We've had a whole winter of green building up. I'm hoping it starts to warm up a little bit, and until then, get the green off. These here, these were, I think, more for show. We've got a bit of green on this boat, haven't we? They were more for show than anything else. They was used for the gas, but it's a bit excessive for a gas bowl. And I thought to myself, you know what? Let's not have things on a boat while we're impractical now. They're not going to get used, so we'll fill them holes when it's a bit warmer. We get some resin, and we get some marine ply, seal it all up, refibre it, and paint over it, and put a vent on if we need to. We can do that in the future if we want to. Right, let's get these ones off. I think it was just put on in around 2008-2009 time. I mean, it was venting the batteries, not the batteries to the side, it was venting gas. The gas on this, if we put it on, is going to the back. It's not coming in the boat. We're not having gas in the boat. The batteries may be in the boat, but not gas. Right, first one. Let's get all the screws out. How easy to come out. Easy. And there you go. There's that panel of the boat. Got a screw come through there. Look. Need to do something with that. 1, 2. This one, I wouldn't be surprised. No, it's 3. So we need to chop these bits off, and then we'll probably fibre when the temperatures are a bit better. We'll fiberglass it all up and put a top side on it. That's 25mm. So if we go 25, 18 plus 5, the rest we can deal with. You know, we can use some fillers, resin, fiberglass. Let's get it cleared up. This side, we know what we're doing. We're gonna have to fill them up, clean them up, fill them. That is the vent from the other side, so we go around the other side. We're not really ready to do anything on the outside yet. The temperatures are still pretty cold. These are the vents we're going to be putting in temporarily today, so we can get on with the inside and clear the foam out. So this is the vent on this side, which we already put in. That's that vent I just showed you. So we'll have to have a tube in here to get to that vent. These will just be blocked up again, fibre resined and top-sided, and then that'll be sanded in, painted in with the rest of the boat. Wow, looking a bit green, aren't we? Green comes off, so that window's got to come out. They'll soon get, you know, spring is here. Spring is here. I've always found that if you, something like this, it look, I mean, I don't even think it looked that nice. It looks over the top for what we're doing. We're not making a racing boat. We're making a medium cruiser, so it can go fast if it wants to. But most of its life, this boat will be doing, you know, river networks, local coastal stuff like that. It won't. We don't need anything like this. And it's just lets dampen. It's just letting more moisture in where we don't want. We're going to keep that out as much as we can. There's no need for it. Right, let's go. Clean the other side up, and then we'll look at the vents and what we're going to do with them. They've got to come off there. There's one down already. That's where our grills go. Right, here's all the grills. I've added a couple out of my collection. Now, the next thing we've got to do, we go down into the den, which is going to be completely cleared out soon, so we can move the boat. We're going to use some of this. Basically, it's acrylic. We're going to cut it to the sizes we need, and then walking through, we grab one. That will fit into the back of one of these grills. You know, cobwebs. That'll fit into the back of one of the grills, and then we'll bond it into the grill. Just use a bit of silicone for now, or whatever, just to stop the weather getting into the boat. And then the ones we do use, we will simply just drill and take out. Okay. There's a rough cut, let's see if it fits. Okay, so the plan basically is, I've got to do 8 of these, but basically I'll cut them, sand them down a little bit, and then they will slot on the inside, so when you look down the grills you'll just see black, you won't see anything else. And then like I say, once I'm ready, I can just drill 2 holes in these, cut the seal, pull it out. They're all done. We're not looking for a bathroom finish here. We're looking for something like that, just so it stays in place and stops the wind and stuff coming in until we decide what ones we're going to use. Any ones we don't use, I don't know, I'll see how they are when they're in there, but to be honest, they're not coming out. The only way to get these out once this goes off is to drill this, put a hook in, cut the seal off with a knife and pull it out. But it will do for now. That will stop the elements getting into the boat. Do that there. That'll just hold them into place for now. Nice thing about this stuff is you don't need to use a lot of it. It's quite expensive to buy. Little pause there. It's because the camera fell off, switched itself off. I didn't realise it. What am I using? Perfect It. It's a cutting compound, basically, and I'm using it with a green pad, green top, green pad. Now, I will go into more about this stuff on the next video, or probably one after. I want to do the entire stern and we do it all together. And not to forget to mention the 2000 block. I prefer paper, but today I've got a block. Basically, 2000 with soap. I just sand over the area very lightly, taking off the overspray, and then
or any imperfections, dust and stuff. And you know, until it's sort of like just gone to like a matty look, not a total matty look, it doesn't need to be. And then I use this stuff, either you can use it with a little bit of water or a damp cloth. I tend to use a damp cloth, it can be aggressive. But with these pads it's very good. These pads are very, very shapeable. These two things will bring up the boat where we're going to be looking at in the future. We're not going to put any polish on any areas because that's a later time, that comes later, a wax or something. So let's move on. Now you know what I'm using. I'll put links in for everything, but there's a lot more to come with this stuff, a lot more. We'll be using it an awful lot in the next few weeks. Move on.
Yeah, we just rub it in around the area we want. That's all we do. We don't need a lot. And you'll just see the difference as soon as we put the buffer on. This is a Titan buffer, not expensive, I've had it for years. Does the job, multi-speed. It doesn't do the zigzaggy thing like some of the modern ones does, but it's been absolutely fine. Right, we're just going to go basically across. Right, put a little bit more on. Got to bear in mind that this boat is not a gloss finish, and the reason it's not a gloss finish is because it's got war wounds over the years. And if you put a gloss on this, that will just ping every ding and dang it's had for 60 years. It will just come out and hit you in the face and it'll look awful. So this is a satin finish, or it's called an off gloss actually in the marine barge world. So it will have a very light flexion. If you say, if you put your hand towards it, but it's not going to be, you're not going to be able to do your eyelashes in it, let's put it that way. And that's what you want, and that is already smooth. So we take that off a little bit, let it dry, and we'll have a look what we've got. You'll see the difference as soon as it dries. Right, let that dry for 5-10 minutes and we'll see what we got. We'll have a little inspection, then we'll do the event on the other side, and then be ready to fit the grills. So basically, if we look at it, you can see I've done you can see the difference in the lever cuttings, grill holes, and now you can see the difference here. And the difference is in feel when you hand on there, smooth, come along here. So we're going to go from this to this. So it's an off, it still needs more cutting down, but not much. So basically now what I can do is when I do find the heater fixings, I do have them somewhere in that boat, I can fit that, and then when I go around to cutting the rest of the boat down and stuff, I can just go up to it and go around it and carry on. So slowly it's allowing me to put my external furniture on the boat, like the stainless steel fittings and stuff. So we've got the other side to do, we do that one quickly, and then we look at getting the grills fitted. Louvers, not grills, louvers. Right, I've had a little bit of a play as well. I've done this side just a little bit, just really just so you can hear the difference in the bit I've done. It needs another little gun over, and like you say, if you look down, I can try and get it off the camera, you can just see I've buffed around where the heater goes. the exhaust, and then just where the grills are going to go, all of the louvers. Right, start with this one. I know. Oh, blimey. A 4mm tap. I've gone for the mushroom ones. I will put links into everything I'm using here. Basically, here we are. Stainless steel. That's the company, ACCU. I'll put a link in. This is the little mushroom. What's the actual name of them? There you go. Button screws, flanged button screws. I call them mushrooms, but they're flanged button screws. 4mm stainless steel. Not that expensive, and we use them an awful lot on this boat, especially on the outside stuff. Right, let's go and do some drill and tapping. Still a letter on it. Show you what a drill for this. It's on both sides. Right, let's crack on. Speak up. Tape. You know. Four. Done. Let's have a look. Hard to judge it from around here because we're trapped, but it does look better with some grills on. You can actually see where the buffer's been, and the buffer is only a light buff. It's not had a proper buff. So when you do it properly, I'll literally set up for the day and I do the whole boat, you know. But yeah, here we go. Here's the other ones. Yeah, makes a big difference having some stainless steel on the boat. A big difference. Lovely. It's starting to look okay, but now I've got to cut some plastics and cover these for the time being. We're not going to resin them at this very moment in time. Porthole, that window's got to come out and be resealed. Massive sand down, and then we'll be redoing all the white as well, and the walkways. Then we've got the teak top. All in a day's work. Well, I wish a day's work. Plastic, white plastic, and I think that's it. Let's see if I get time to do it today. It is coming down. It's getting dark, but spring's definitely coming. It's definitely here, apart from next week. Then it goes back to winter for a couple of days. I had a friend pop over for a coffee, and he bought his cup, and he dropped it in the engine bay and it broke. And I thought, you know what, he really liked this cup, so I fixed it for him. But a CT1, and where it chipped, I put a little bit there for him as well. So I'll give that back to him later. He'll be pleased with that. Amazingly strong CT1, isn't it? I mean, it's done that perfect. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. It's probably the best job all day. Right, I don't think there's any point in having anything on the boat what's not being used. We'll probably have one vent around this side, so I'm just going to literally block it off for the time being. Literally just like that. Put a couple of screws in, I'll put a beadle on the top. bead along the top just to stop the web from getting in. It won't get in because this is plastic. So we'll end up filling these, but for the time being, going too high. We just put a fixing in. Not too high up. We just put a tiny little bead along the top. A little bit down there, just to run the water off. You know it's getting cold because this stuff is starting to play up. That's all we need, just to get the water to run down. That's it. How to do. A couple of little design changes coming on the boat, which I've been thinking about, and we'll go over it next time. But I think now we've got to start thinking, you know what, we've had a day outside today, it's been cold, but at least we've made some progress on the outside of the boat. And as for March, well, it's like February at the moment. We're predicted for another week or two of this. So yeah, 2 weekly I think at the moment. And then we slowly start building back up again. Anyway, let's go inside, it's warmer. Take this stuff in. Well, it's nice to look around and see something actually is starting to come together. We're starting to look like a vessel. Not a long way to go, but as always, thanks for watching. See you in a couple of weeks. Take care.